be an all-nighter here.
Yep.
As we create, we have a great show for you tonight. Makai has brought a list with the 10 weirdest things he puts on sandwiches, and Halldamir is going to list off the 5 hints that you are dating a sex machine.
5 things I found inside a frog.
Oh,
10 of these will definitely surprise you.
And doctors hate sheep because he's a sheep.
Because I'm made of apples.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stay around. Also, by the end of it, Halldamir might get a vasectomy on stage here, so you don't want to miss that.
Oh, what? I didn't agree to that.
If you reach our donation goal,
So
he is contractually obligated.
Use your money to vote. Vasectomy or no?
Fuck.
Let's get started, shall we?
Yes, let's.
First question would be, when do we want to share the thing?
What?
You know, the thing, Jonas?
Oh, the thing.
Yeah.
When do we want to share everything? Good question. Maybe after we present our characters and create them finished, maybe that's a good time to share the
the
thing.
city is before character creation, technically.
Okay, let's do it a bit later then.
Should I say congratulations to you two? I mean...
No, not that thing. That comes way later.
That's another thing.
I wrote it in the chat what I mean. So city first and then characters?
I mean, if you think that's how we should do it,
I don't know.
I don't
However
care.
you feel
Yeah, I
comfortable.
mean, city is first, in the thing. And since it may be good to, know who's a big deal in the city.
Sure.
Okay, let's do city. Let's do it by the book.
They'll definitely aid our character bit.
Okay, first you'll choose your city. Everyone will agree on some basic facts about it, the sort of problems it is facing, and how the supernatural intersects with the city.
All right,
So
I
let's
don't
do
agree.
that first.
I don't agree that there is an airport here. Doesn't exist.
But
I think we could discuss
Don't
that.
agree with that.
But I live there. That's terrible. First of all, if there's anyone in chat who lives in Berlin, knows of Berlin, or likes Berlin, do know that we are going to butcher it completely. So...
We have at least one.
Right.
One fan who actually lives in Berlin and is smiling owly from the YouTube channel. So
Yeah.
he said, "Hooray, you're doing Berlin! I live there," basically. And I was like, "Well, you're
Shout out to you, buddy.
You're gonna be so upset." Also, I like your avatar. Keep it up.
It's called the...
Oh, Marcus, we missed something. We could have done something so much better.
Yeah.
What?
Because Dresdan is a city in Germany.
Oh, it's true.
we didn't even know there was a thing called the book series. Really? That's so
We
fun.
could just call it the Dresden Files RPG, the Dresden Files. Like a...
Oh, I didn't even think about that, but now it's late.
It's too late.
Damn,
Anyways.
why you gotta do this?
We've basically decided on Berlin, and I would be very upset if we change now because I made all these maps and stuff. So
How about Paris?
Belfast?
so Manikai, one thing I did that you weren't around for me to show off. If you go on the object layer and click on the district map to the south of the current map, it has a macro. Don't move it around manually, just click the macro. Yeah. And then click it again.
My God!
It's magic.
It's magic. Macro
You're
magic.
some sort of wizard sheep.
Grimmirth would hit you upside the head and say, "No, that's too complicated." I like it.
I like it.
It's good. We approve.
All right, themes and threats. Let's get cracking.
Let's start with some themes, shall we?
Yeah.
I think that would be most interesting. Like, these are supposed to be general, the big things that define the city as it exists in our Dresden verse, meaning that it doesn't really have to fit be what the actual city is because we have supernatural things involved.
Let's see. What are the suggested things for the Baltimore here? Maybe we can just use those. Well, not use those, but use those as an example of what a theme is supposed to be. I also have access to Chicago in the second book, so could use those as inspiration as well.
So some themes are general things that everyone talks about, even if everyone is not directly affected by them. Themes can be about a specific group in a city, or they can be simply cautionary tales that people tell each other. They are basically in-universe things simplified into a short sentence.
So I believe you, Jonas, wanted to have like involvement of like Nordic gods and such.
Yes. I
So
want
that
there
should
to
probably be a theme.
I want some.
Could we perhaps generalize it a bit and say maybe, like say that there's a lot of foreigners here, like a lot of foreign influences? In general, would be interesting.
Isn't
I
that
certainly
big?
would be interested in like the like Polish mafia and like black court stuff coming from Eastern Europe and such. And I'm sure there might be like an English wizard or something. So maybe having like a general like a theme that can sort of say that things come from all corners in a way.
Like supernatural revolving door.
What do you call it? There is a specific word in Swedish when I guess it would be like a melting pot, supernatural melting pot. But that sort of incorporates everything, doesn't it?
How about the great European capital?
That has implications. It would make Berlin like a really important city. That's pretty good.
Yeah, what's...
Yeah, themes don't really have to be like
Supernatural smorgasbord, Marcus suggests.
yeah, themes don't really have to be like threats or supernatural, innately like supernatural or crazy. They just have to have implications. That's the important thing. They need to imply things.
Yeah, because it's a threat also, so we should have some sort of.
They need to have ambiguous implications. And like the capital of, well, not the capital of Europe, but how did you put it, Malachi?
I just called it the great capital of Europe.
That's pretty good. I like it.
I like it too, for obvious reasons.
I'm just going to write this down, and maybe we can eliminate those we stop liking later. The great.
I mean, we can have a few, right? So
Yeah. I'm making a wiki page here.
I'm just trying to envision sort of what that means. Great capital of Europe.
It means that
I imagine
many important
that-
people would like to have, power in this particular city, for example.
it's like the arena in a way.
Arena of Europe?
But then that sounds like it's a battleground of Europe. Like, all the bad
Battlefield
shit.
Europe.
Battlefield Europe.
How about political battleground?
The European theater,
That could work.
or the stage of Europe, or
Stage of Europe.
Stage of Europe sounds good.
Stage of Europe. I'll just write that down as well.
all the different actors participate.
Stage of Europe. Maybe
Perhaps it is even the place where big things look to see how well they're doing. If you get humiliated here, you're humiliated in front of everyone.
Yeah, but then if you're held up on a pedestal here, then, you're doing
Everyone
pretty
sees
fucking
it.
Good. Yeah. Sounds good.
So can you repeat that?
I think it was the scene of Europe, or
Scene?
the theater. Which one do you guys like?
Stage.
better?
Yeah, I
Theater.
thought it was a
Stage. I
Stage?
like stage.
stage. I like stage.
Alright.
Because it has
Stage.
a Shakespearean vibe that I like.
Sure.
Stage
Could we
of
maybe
Europe.
make the European stage then?
European stage, yeah.
You're like off better.
European
I know.
stage.
We'll just round it all off. The Great European Stage.
That works for me.
Sure.
Round it all off.
And that would indeed mean then that, yeah, Berlin is an important city and a lot of people would like to have power in the city.
Everyone's watching it too.
Because there is a precarious balance that the old dragon has maintained. And they're sort of like, maybe he's slipping now. Maybe it's time.
So everyone talks about how important Berlin is. Like that's something everyone knows, and has that in mind as a theme.
Hmm.
I mean, we're all German, right?
Ach,
Mein Berlin.
ach, mein Berlin.
Sehr gut. Yeah.
Oh, terrible.
Okay.
See, Mad Monty picks
Should
up
we
my
also have a
Shakespeare.
cautionary tale?
Cautionary tale?
I think that's good.
Hmm.
Also, Weapon King, the time period is now.
Yes.
There's smartphones, there's the internet, there's Google, there's like Oculus Rift.
There's Reddit.
Reddit, yes.
I bet your character doesn't ever go there, Jonas.
No, my character can't. No. He has other ways.
Ha. Come up talking to Mel too. Ha.
Site called Bible.com. It's,
That's where
Great.
you go. That's where you hang out.
no. AskJesus.com.
Okay, that's
Jeez, it just goes to your mailbox.
Yeah.
And the
I would not
found
be
mate.
pretentious.
How about finding some threats first of all?
Threats
Sure.
are easier, I think, because they're more immediate.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe we can
Do
work
you
off
have anything
those.
in mind?
How about like pre-adolescents have been disappearing or something? That's always a solid one.
That's too specific though.
Yeah, or like
I would like.
It needs to be sort of anecdotal.
I would
Okay.
like. I'm thinking. Because I'm still sort of thinking back to my Valhallian Norse god connection, and maybe very long but this might be too specific as well. I'm thinking like extreme winters or something, like the winters, like the grip of the Jotun are like closing in
That
on
would
city.
basically be the courts are closing in.
Yeah, in a way, like winter seems to be more.
That could be a threat. The courts are closing in.
I thought like something because if we like have a narrative that says I like what you basically said sort of anecdotally before, Jonas, that the great dragon is losing his grip. What if Berlin has been like under basically like a great, it was like chaos when the wall fell and everything, but one great dragon made this peace and was like, nobody fight in my city basically. But he's gone now, and nobody really knows if he's just hiding or if he's just not showing up or he's just gone. And so could have like a threat saying the king is dead. Long live the king? Question mark.
Yeah. When
Long live the king.
Because we basically don't know
when the
next one's gonna be,
when the dragon is gone, the mice stands on the table.
cat's gone, so the mice will dance.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
The mice
It's
are
a threat,
dancing.
certainly. Yeah.
That sounds like something a hobo would rush up to you and scream.
Maybe they
mice
do.
are
I mean, it's a
dancing!
threat, so certain people talk about it in hushed tones. So it's like, because that would basically be all these different factions now. Like, hey, I mean, basically, it's currently the period is, are we sure he's not there? Like, is this for real? Is he just gone? And people are sort of beginning to test the waters.
Oh, I like the implication to that.
Well, there's a power vacuum,
Yeah.
basically.
And a lot of people would like to take that. Maybe that could even be a theme then, if it's something that's going to last a long time and that's going to be important for multiple things. It's not something really that's going to be solved after a scenario, right?
It might be something that is solved eventually, but it would be very difficult to
If we
properly
did
solve.
like a theme saying like the king is dead, long live the king, that would basically mean that in the current climate, people don't last long on top.
Right. It implicates that there's a lot of
Like
movements and
rise
shifts
and
up
fall.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly. King of the mound for a week, and then someone tears you down. So it's a constantly changing power structure in a way. I like that.
Can we try to have a theme like that?
Something like this, maybe.
I was actually literally
Meet the
thinking,
new
like,
boss, same as the old boss.
you know. Something like that. I don't know where it's from, but I've heard it a few times. It's like a... Yeah.
It could also work.
Basically immediate succession. I don't know if there's a reference in there or something, but I...
There is a reference to The Who.
I don't know what that means.
That's a incredibly famous British rock band.
Huh.
It's like one of the most famous.
I'm back.
Do you know who The Who is, Halldamir?
Who the Who? The band?
Yes.
Well, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know him personally.
I mean, all
Him?
British people know each other, right?
That was the joke, Halldamir. I mean, I'll just write down all three of these things and maybe...
It's very, very impactful.
I mean, we kind of agree on the theme itself, not on the wording. So maybe we can just let that simmer for a bit. Let's see, stage of Europe and changing leadership, in a sense. That's not necessarily a threat, though, is it? That's more like a...
Oh, that's a theme.
That's a theme. One thing that I think might be interesting is, as far as I remember, although my knowledge might be wrong there, since Berlin was like kind of rebuilt a couple times, there might be like deep underground catacombs, like the old city in a sense.
The Undercity.
The Undercity.
I mean, you want an Undercity? There's an Undercity.
I mean, it could be an interesting theme.
I like having an Undercity.
What would we call
Maybe
that
it's
theme?
like in the deepest, darkest recesses of the old catacombs and
Deep, dark underground.
Bomb shelters and stuff like that.
yeah, like really old, closed off. No one has been there for like
Could it be
50, 70
Where,
years.
where all the
how
all
about-
stolen art of the Second World War lies.
Yeah, see, I
Buried.
want that. I talked
Exactly.
to some of you before. Like, I want there to be basically a trade of all these like stolen artifacts and art and just like rare things, a pixie in a cage, that sort of thing.
probably
but
where
how
we could
about
find
a
it.
city above, a city below?
That sounds good.
City above the city. Yeah, that could work.
light above, darkness below.
That could work.
That's a bit more broad.
Yeah, I just like better to have the non-implication that the lower city is necessarily bad.
There could be good size to it.
Could be people they're just stuck.
Couldn't afford stuff above.
I mean, there's a big difference whether you refer to the underground as a proper city or just as underground, because then it might just be like kilometers long of abandoned subway tunnels and whatnot, and not necessarily an entire
Like that's what I'm thinking it
community.
is.
But that's not really a city, though, is it?
Well, it would be more like basically that's a different community completely.
So it would be like a proper and rather big community.
In a way,
I
just
don't-
like people who disappeared. No,
I don't know how big is that community though.
not as big as the one above at all. But can we find a better way to
I think it would be better to refer to the existence of underground rather than to the existence of a community underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as a theme, then sort of has to have sort of. Maybe we could make a cautionary tale about the underground or cautionary sentence.
There's a ghost train.
Like, it'd be something like
Something like too many. Something like this.
I don't know whether they're necessarily subway tunnels if it's like from the old town.
Oh, I
mean,
like
yeah.
that. I like that shape.
Yeah. Implications.
The
Yeah.
implications are
Mysteries.
scary.
You could go so
Walk
many
down
places.
the
Could
walk
we
down
just
the,
say too many tunnels going nowhere?
like walk down the wrong tunnel. Doesn't matter if it's a subway or above ground. If you walk down the wrong tunnel,
Yeah, you might just find yourself in the Never Never, and that's a bad thing.
you get lost. You disappear in the shadows, and no one find you again. Or
I
they
mean,
find
it's
you
also
like
important that,
laid
that
on top of a house.
like this is like the place where Kemmler came from. He's a pretty big deal.
Well, did he come from Berlin?
Well, from Germany, central Germany. I mean,
Berlin isn't exactly central. That's
not
kind of,
really-
I suppose.
Well,
Could be from Berlin. You know, do we want him to be from Berlin? That's the question here.
no,
No?
no.
but from the area anyway, of Germany.
Yeah.
Could we say too many tunnels going nowhere?
Yeah, I
Rather than
think-
subway tunnels.
Yeah, I think that catches the gist of it without referring to like the transportation. I like that. So I'll link the notes I'm taking in chat as well as our wiki. I hope that no like exterior people can actually edit it, but I think they can't. Let's find out.
I think they have to join, but yeah.
We'll see if pictures of dick butts and stuff pop up.
That'd be the worst. Actual graffiti in our.
But it'll be very real, though.
Yeah, it would be.
Let's see here. Some threats. How about?
See, Chicago, for example, has some very like basic in quotation marks threats like fire, flash, water.
A threat called water?
Well, there's a thing called water, at least, as a theme for Chicago, because that has like
Out of it.
it has like the lake in Chicago. You know where the island is and stuff. Berlin doesn't really have one huge lake. It has like rivers.
Yeah, let's see here. How can we make a threat? Like,
How about
bad going on.
something, because Berlin is indeed a city that has a very troubled history, and quite recently as well. I mean, it's a city that has lasted, it's been a city for a long time. I don't know exactly when Berlin is founded, but I'm willing,
1300s.
yeah, but I'm willing to say it's been around for almost 1,000 years at this point. It is an old city, but very recently it has been shaken to its core with the World War, and then the Cold War after that. So maybe something that alludes to the Cold War, like the
Yes.
some threat that sort of lingers, the sort of east-west dichotomy that is now like the walls that has crumbled.
Yeah, not
And
not necessarily relating to the Cold War, but someone Smirnov DW in chat suggested Ghosts of War.
I like that. Yes.
Solid
That
one, I
can
like
refer
it.
to both actual ghosts, or it can refer to just the
After Effects.
after effects. Yeah, the
I like that.
aftershocks of it.
Choose
Yeah,
that.
that's a good suggestion. Keep them coming.
Thank you, Smirnov. Ghost Stopo. God knows where we king. I'm gonna time you out. If you can. These horrible puns. Oh, I love it though.
I do like the idea of KGB werewolves too.
Mm-hmm.
America, would that be a theme or a threat, Matt Monty?
The threat of America.
The threat is
Imminent
America.
closing in.
Just exclamation points.
The FBI is spying on everyone.
I was gonna continue and say that there is and Tolpans actually points out as well. There is this. I mean, Berlin is a seat of old power, not only Christian. It's been a lot of weird cults and necromancy and things in and around this area. So maybe a threat that cultists seem to be very active in the area. Like there is
Maybe
something,
just
there is
like
some
that-
darkness
a,
that
a
like draw these
reemergence
people.
of things forgotten, or
Yeah, like there's something, some darkness that draws people like Kemmler and others here and to perform their sorcery.
Like old horrors, new problems.
or the past is drawing near, or history repeats itself.
Yeah, history repeats.
Or just a city on repeat.
Dark.
Dark wings, dark words.
Dark magnet, dark nexus, dark crossroads,
Yay.
dark souls.
I was just about to say that. Goddamn.
Destiny, Dark Souls.
If you say that 3 times, you summon him.
And bind him to
Now
something.
you better have your circle ready.
I ask thrice, and I shall have an answer. How about could be something like could even be a theme like the city that never learns, or a city where nothing sleeps, or
Buried but not forgotten.
That would be a good one. I like that.
Sorry, I didn't
It
hear
again
that one.
kind of refers to like the underground and such, which I think is a good thing. I'll write that one down.
and just like old things coming back, they come back here,
Seep up.
upwelling basically.
Yeah.
If we go into climate science and use their words.
Let's see. I definitely like those things. All those things. Like somewhat vague threats and themes. Do we want to get more specific?
We could have like a specific group that have recently like made themselves known to be a deal. Who might be a big deal. They have in their example like of Baltimore, they have like a group of ghouls basically. I rather like that idea. I think ghouls are excellent like opponents. Because they're strong and they can be fast and they can use weapons and they can do a lot of things. And you don't have to feel bad about killing them. So, you know.
Oh, although I might know one more theme that I think could be interesting.
Could be a threat. Could maybe be gangsters gone ghoul.
You know, I'll write it down. Gangsters gone ghoul. Alliterations.
We like alliterations.
Yes.
Some supernatural ghoul person has gone and taken control of like I don't know, the Krakow mafia, and
You really
And,
want
you know,
Krakow something to be a thing.
it
don't
is
you?
it is a great word, and yeah, and it's giving them powers, and eating the flesh of the dead, obviously.
Obviously.
I mean, that's a small price. You were about to say something, Jonas?
Yeah, I was actually. So Berlin has all like these large kind of foresty areas, with the Tiergarten being like this huge foresty like forest, I guess.
It is being called the greenest capital of Europe.
Yeah. What if it would be a theme that those places aren't supposed to be forests?
Oh, so it's like I mean that kind of goes to the theme of buried but not forgotten.
No, I was more thinking like summer court invasion of a sense.
Oh.
Invasion is a strong word.
Not invasion, but that the entire place of
Stronger
Berlin
presence.
is
I
very
mean,
close
harsh
to
winters and rapid growth, that certainly would suggest fairies.
yeah.
How about times are getting grim with a big G for the Brothers Grimm and their fairy tales?
I like that.
Grim tidings.
Grim.
Yeah, grim tidings could work as well, as long as we have the big G to know that it's like a name.
I was thinking of maybe a bit too ominous and vague, just the word parallels as a theme.
Parallels?
Yeah.
What do you?
Like I'm specifically like referring to like the summer court in Never Never. Like that there's some kind of overlapping or almost overlapping that essentially forces the city to accept those forests, for example. Because they just can't build things there. And they were like, all right, I guess the ground is really fertile, so let's make a forest.
It's like an excuse for why their buildings keep crumbling.
Yeah.
How would you word that, though? There's one really good word that I don't know the translation for. Convergence? Never, never fight Berlin.
Never, never. I'm like quoting a Swedish poet now, but it might work. This is also because it took me a while to translate this, so it might not be perfect from Swedish, but it's a poem about spring, and one of the lines is, "Yes, of course it hurts when buds are breaking." So maybe that's sort of hints at.
I like it. We would probably just say, yeah, well, yes, it hurts when buds are breaking. That could be a theme suggesting something.
Or maybe condensing it down and just saying breaking buds.
Breaking Bads? What?
breaking
buds.
birds bring the hurts.
Breaking Bads.
That's terrible.
It's just awful.
Freestyle rapping with Malachi, everybody.
Yeah.
Breaking buds. Yes.
No,
Thank you, chat.
that's another part of Berlin.
I mean, I'll just take this as like a.
And DDS has brought his list. Top 3 places for breaking butts in Berlin.
I don't even know what
Well,
that's
now-
supposed to mean, but at this point,
Well-
I'm too afraid to really think about it.
Well, since you asked, Jonas,
Yeah.
in fact, right here next to my math work.
Yeah, of course.
Breaking buds. That's terrible.
More like Amsterdam. No, I don't know. I've heard things about Berlin.
So it's a theme for Berlin is like more like Amsterdam. That would be strange. Should mix those two.
Someone far away.
Supernatural
breaks,
Amsterdam.
someone far away breaks a Bud Light bottle.
So, let's keep that for now. Maybe we can find a better phrase later. Although I do like this one, the like quote.
Swedish poetry
Poem.
to the rescue.
Chad is pointing out that we don't really have any religious themes right now, which is a good point.
That's true. True. We should have religious themes.
But Berlin is kind of a city that has a lot of churches. But as far as I've visited, at least in Berlin, most of the churches are like omni-faith churches, where there's like basically like
That's really
like a
important.
circle of symbols with like 9 different religious symbols, and you can sort of go there and like in the airport they had like a room that was like a prayer room, but without like any specific.
But that's the airport. I'm thinking like we should probably harken this back to like the olden times, right?
Yeah, but I'm thinking something about there not being like a dominant, like
Like maybe.
No. There is one true.
No, could be a threat though. Maybe God really dislikes Berlin. Who knows?
God wants to fuck Berlin over.
That's a threat. God wants to fuck Berlin.
That's a threat I don't
my.
think we can ever handle. That would be bad if we learn that.
Oh yeah, I like Smirnov's idea again. Many faiths, many devils.
Yes, I like that.
Smirnov,
Look at that.
you are doing some good work, man.
It's producing.
I like it. You know, I'll write it down. Many devils.
Because all faith have their bad guys. And few have their good guys, as it turns out.
Okay. That's certainly the religious theme covered.
I think we should probably move on from these now. It does say like don't have too many, or it'll become too. Each will weigh too little, basically.
Yeah, maybe we can come up with more while doing like character stuff, or rather
Well-
location stuff first,
And like groups, right?
and groups. Yeah. So. Yeah, I have no further suggestions at the moment, at least.
No, but do I?
So I suppose we get to getting the high level view now.
High level view.
Getting the high level view. It's just be after this, what we've just done.
Yeah.
Which is deciding what groups or factions or supernatural powers are like active and in what degree.
Themes and threats are these.
We should look at our themes and threats and say who gives it in.
Who gives a damn? I know.
Dragon.
Who's here?
You know, there's definitely at least a dragon. I think that's fair to say. Fair to suggest, even.
Ghouls.
It wants us to actually like make a
Ghoul lord.
sphere. I'm gonna make us like a big white splooch over here.
Yeah, let's get a white
Then
splooch.
I'll make that the little sort of a because they have like a fancy like system here that they do. It's not thick
There's
at all.
a very big white
Yeah,
speech.
there's people who care about the status quo. There's people who want to rock the boat. Those kind of overlapping.
So
Well, not overlapping.
how
but
they have done it at
both.
least is they've done like a coordinate system. Actually, you can help me write these in. If you write the rocking the boat ones, I'll write the. So here down here we have.
I don't know which like image you're referring to. Which coordinate system? Which page is it on?
It's the example. It's the sheet, the city sheet.
Oh yeah. Oh right, yeah.
Who's in the know?
On page 32.
Who is in the dark?
And then we have, let's see, status quo and I'll be lazy. Status quo and change.
All right. And what is our status quo? We have a mundane status quo and I'll make like two more white little blobs up here. Basically, mundane.